Hi, everyone. It's Tara here, and we're going to talk more about relationships and emotional wellness today. And one of the main things I want to talk about is what keeps getting brought up to me. And maybe you've done it or you've been told to do it because it's going to save your relationship. And I don't mean like not always love relationship, husband, wife, partners, whatever it is. It could be friendships, it could be parenting relationships, and so on. This is what most people say: figure out what you want, write a list even of what would make you happy, and then hand it to the other person, and then they can hand you their list. And then you both know what each other needs and wants, and you can fulfill that. How's that worked out for you so far? What I tend to find is that when somebody writes out a list, a couple things happen. One, it may not actually be how the other person shows up naturally in relationship or just naturally at all. Let's say somebody on somebody's list, like what a friend was, said to me, like, I want to get together often and go out to either lots of networking or to more social gatherings. And that's what would make that person feel cared for by me. Would be my role. Well, I don't show up in that capacity with ease. It's just not who I am. I'm a one-on-one person the majority of the time. Like, that's how I show up. I show up deep, wholesome, and intimate. And in most of my friends, actually, it's a lot of interactions throughout the week virtually, like whether it's over the phone, over Zoom, over, that kind of thing, and not even in person. Because it's busy. I'm a mom and I have a business and I have a lot of things going on. And so honoring the fact that that's what I can do to show up, and realizing that is important. So, but this isn't about me, but it's showing, like, sometimes what we have on our list isn't how somebody can actually fit it in. And so the next thing that happens is we fit in what's a priority. And yes and no. I want to say we fit in what is natural and pleasing and expansive and honoring to us. When we try to be what we're not, it doesn't show up authentically, and it doesn't show up naturally, and it doesn't continue to show up with ease. And so if you feel like the other person's forcing themselves to do something for you, it doesn't feel so good. And also, they're probably not going to continue to do it because it's not their natural bend. So this gets into like a really crunchy space, because it's like, well, this is how I want to be loved. This is how I want to be cared for. And instead of looking at, this is how we loved well, this is how they have loved me well. Let me look at how they've shown up in my life and whether I've actually received it, whether it's made an impact, whether I've appreciated it, and whether I've lost focus of that because I'm looking at how they're not showing up in the way that I've written down. Right? So let's say somebody shows up for you not in the way that you're asking for. Many times we can bypass it. Like, it's kind of like when you go out on the road and somebody says, oh my gosh, like, I really want to own a Jeep. And so you see Jeeps everywhere. And if I said, well, did you see that Ford Pinto or that Ford Taurus? You go, no. Well, because you weren't paying attention. You weren't looking for it. Or you might get back from your trip and you might say, like, I didn't see a Jeep at all. And I'd say, like, did you see the Dodge Ram? And they go, no, because you didn't see the Jeep because there weren't any on the road, but you also didn't see all the Dodge Rams that I saw because that's what I was looking for. I don't really care about any of these cars, but I do like a Jeep. Not the point. So hopefully you're getting the point. So when we start to look at how that person functions with ease and well, and what actually makes them thrive, and that we tap into that, it changes everything. And how we function with ease, because if you're making a list, they're probably making a list. And you might even be thinking, I'm showing up well. I'm doing all the things that they want on the list. But what's your attitude about what you're doing? Are all the things that you're doing filled with resentment because either you're not getting what you want, or it could just be like, it's not fun for me. I don't enjoy doing it. So what else is possible? What else is possible in order for our lives to function well together? Now, and again, this could be partnerships, as in, you know, your husband, your wife, your partner, or it could be your kid, or it could be a friend. So what actually drew you to the person in the beginning? How do they naturally show up? And if we're talking like a love relationship, people show up different in the first few weeks and even a month. So look beyond that. Like, look at how they show up for other people. That's their natural bend. And then how do you look at how that can function in your life even more? So I had a client who was talking about, like, she's just tired of doing the chores around the house all the time. And she asked her husband to do some of the chores. She's like, could you do the dishes and maybe the laundry for the day, and do it more often? Two things happen here. One, she didn't look at how he loves to show up and what actually makes him thrive. And two, as soon as he stops doing it, he's in the wrong, like he no longer loves. So when we make a list of how you need to be in order for me to feel loved, what is at the bottom of that list is, if you're not doing it, I don't feel loved. And so we're looking for when they stop. Interestingly enough, we're looking for when they stop instead of looking for unbridled appreciation, like really just going, oh my gosh, you did that. Like, thank you so much. But also, if you pair up how they really love to be. So her husband loved quality time. And so I said, so I know you probably would like more time to just relax because you're working all the time and you have all these things. But I just want to say to you, if his way of thriving, and he really loves touch and he really loves quality time, if you did the dishes together and you did the laundry together and you put on music and you made it a fun time, you would take your time in half. He would feel loved, and then you could have some alone time, right? And you would get it that much faster, and you would have, right, like you would be ticking his box of quality time, which you feel like you don't have the time to do it. You would be ticking that box while getting that job done, and then giving you the solo time that you really need. So both of you are winning. Both of you are feeling seen and heard. And if you add some touch in there while you guys are doing the dishes or the laundry together, like, he's going to feel even more loved. And it's not just about him, because you're getting your needs met too. You're getting that space where you're like, I need, because when you look at, like, there's five love languages in that book out there. One of them that's not mentioned is the honoring of alone time. A lot of people need others to honor, but they need that time alone to, like, purge things from the day, to just find themselves, to center themselves, to just have no talking, no expectations, nothing, no need to give or show up in any possible way. And so that one, I'm like, let's put that all the way at the top for some people. And then other people need time to socialize. And sometimes the socializing needs to happen without you, right? Like, so go out, socialize, grab your friends. Like, I'm just going to do my alone time while you do that. So hopefully this helped a little bit. Instead of writing the list of what you need, take some time and write down the things that you love about how your spouse shows up naturally. This is the key, how they naturally show up and show you love, and allow yourself to receive it. And then how they love to be loved by you, how you naturally show up and they love to be loved by you, and finding ways together to make those things work amidst all the jobs and the chores that we have of life. Because here's the reality: the jobs and chores of life don't go away, But if we're willing to bring our innate energy to those jobs and chores, they can bring more adventure, more connection, more fun, and more love to our lives and more meaning, right? So it's not about eliminating them, it's about finding how to bring those energies to the chores and then making all areas of life even more fulfilling. So tell me what your thoughts are on this, and thanks for tuning in.